Papers are being leaked, things are being leaked. It's criminal action, criminal act, and it's been going on for a long time before me, but now it's really going on. And people are trying to cover up for a terrible loss that the Democrats had under Hillary Clinton. I think it's very, very unfair what's happened to General Flynn, the way he was treated.
Joining us now to react, GERALDO, Rivera, and Eric Bolling. So, Bolling, if President Trump thinks what happened to General Flynn is unfair, why did he accept his resignation?
I think he asked for his resignation, and he can also think what happened to General Flynn was unfair, and I do too. Look, I think General Flynn was asked to resign.
If you're the president and you feel a general who's a patriot, a distinguished man, who really served his country well, is treated unfair, then why do you boot him out?
He said treated unfairly by the press.
Yeah.
Of course you can be treated.
Why wouldn't you just stand behind him?
As he said, as Trump said, or as spokesman Spicer said, there was an eroding trust factor with General Flynn, and that was likely because of Vice President Pence. The press is taking apart General Flynn because of his conversations with Russia, which I don't think amount to a hill of beans.
Well, you don't know.
That New York Times article today was extensive. I read it 3 separate times. I found 3 different times they alluded to accusations of possible FBI involvement, but
the New York Times doesn't know, you don't know, Rivera doesn't know, and I don't know.
Yeah, but he's been excoriated in the press.
And we just did a segment on it.
Yeah,
we just did an entire segment.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
Okay, but I don't know if he's being treated unfairly, and you were the president, Rivera, oh my God, would you have accepted?
I'd be in less of a jam than our friend President Trump is right now. I think a couple of things. I think, number one, to complain, if you did not complain about hacks and leaks when they were damaging to Hillary Clinton, you have no moral right to complain about the hacks and leaks that took down General Flynn, and there will be others. Secondly, you have a situation here. People have to get their arms around what this is. There are now between 4 and 9 internal sources saying that there were 4 people in the Trump campaign and then his transition team who were in, quote, repeated and constant communication with Russian intelligence, meaning the KGB.
But that doesn't matter.
To alter the election of the United States, it doesn't, Bill.
You don't know what that the only man
this goes to the very essence.
See, look, you're doing something un-American. You're convicting.
I resent that.
They have the presumption of innocence.
They definitely do.
And you're not giving it to them.
You heard from Bob Woodward. You heard from Thomas Friedman, and now you're hearing it.
You're not giving. You're using anonymous sources with no factual backup.
When you have 9 sources.
Wait a minute, you're taking that from whom? From whom?
Where do they see the 9 sources? Yeah, the Washington Post, Bob Woodward's newspaper.
There are no names on them.
Now we need names, but for Hillary Clinton to destroy her candidacy, to destroy Hillary Clinton, you don't need names for Hillary Clinton's destruction.
Okay, look,
but now suddenly to show...
You're not giving the presumption of innocence.
This is an extraordinary thing that just happened. That this was...
What's this? What is it?
You have a presidential campaign in communication with our arch enemy, the Russians.
Who in the campaign?
You called Putin a killer. You busted the president's chops and said, "How can you be friends with a killer?"
Because we have the facts to back that up.
You have the Trump campaign having a conversation with Vladimir Putin.
Who in the Trump campaign?
As you sit there tonight, do you believe that there was no communication between the Trump campaign? You now have the recording. Why was General Flynn fired?
Because he misled Pence.
Nothing.
Do you believe that?
Yes,
you believe that?
I think that's
so. What did he mislead Pence about?
I don't know.
He misled.
So therefore, I don't convict.
If he misled Vice President Pence, it was about his communications with Russia. Ergo, there were communications with Russia.
Pence was teed off. Go ahead.
100% right. He was asked for his resignation because he said to Pence, "No, I didn't have any discussions with Russia." Not what the discussions were.
That's what we think happened.
Well, no. Pence said, "I spoke to Flynn, and he didn't speak with the Russians." Subsequently, there have been 9 separate sources saying that they did in fact talk. So Pence was out on a limb. He put his vice president out on a limb. Flynn needed to be fired for that reason, not because of what we do or don't know. The actual conversations. For all we know, Geraldo, he could have picked up the phone
the most
saying,
recent
"Look,
stories,
I'm likely going to be the NSA director. I want to work with you."
All right, Bolling, you got to shut up now. Gentlemen, thank you very much.